It's the Shatkin First Down Pregame Show, presented by Dr. Todd Shatkin and the Aesthetic Associates Center, with your hosts, Rich Gaenzler and Dr. Jared Shatkin, and our special guest, Buffalo News Bills beat reporter Jay Skurski. Now, from the Shatkin Sports Network studios in Amherst, here are your hosts, Rich Gaenzler and Jared Shatkin.
Welcome to the Shatkin First Down Buffalo pregame show. Rich Gaenzler, Dr. Jared Shatkin back for another week. Going to have a special Bills guest coming up. Also the Mafia, Sam Castronova. Whole lot going on. Thanks for being here with us here on WBBZ. You, before we went into the show, announced your displeasure amongst the crew, despite a 10-point win for the Bills in their play against the Dolphins.
Well, I told you, I am not looking for the Bills to beat the Dolphins. I'm looking for them to win games in January. And to me, that game, I didn't like the way they played. We were about to get the game tied at the end without Bernard having that pick. They had no pass rush. Tre'Davious White's getting turned around all over the place. I'm sorry. I think this is how the coaches feel, too. I don't think the Bills played up to their standard, and I think there's a lot they can improve on. Yeah,
for sure. And, of course, steadily we're going to get guys back in the lineup, right? Hopefully Milano comes back and Taron Johnson comes back. And then, of course, we're getting closer and closer to Hairston and Hoyt and Ogunjobi. And I think probably everybody in-house there is thinking, just come 3 more weeks. Let's get through these games that we should win, ideally, and don't have any hiccups. And then we get all these guys back to bolster the worst side of the ball.
Well, yeah, listen, I'm happy with a 31-21 win. And I think it's good to have coaching points at this stage, but I think there are a lot to happen. And I also think on the offensive side of the ball, yes, Josh was taking what he had, about 3.5 yards a pass, but I think it's because guys like Keon Coleman weren't getting open against the worst pass defense in the league. I saw him getting locked up by Rasul Douglas out there. I mean, there are places to improve. We scored 31 points. Josh had 3 touchdowns. James Cook's cooking. It's a good place to be. Good place to be able to coach them and still win.
It did shock me that the Bills were as ineffective in the pass game as they were against that secondary. That was absolutely shocking watching that game. But the run game was phenomenal, and Cook's touchdown was unbelievable. And a lot has been made on social media and other media throughout Buffalo over the past week about how many touches James Cook is getting and what he will ultimately get, what he's on pace for at the end of the year. Does that concern you?
I think it might concern me if he continues this throughout the rest of the season, but I think they're going to start sprinkling in Ray Davis a little bit more and Ty Johnson, and I also don't think he's taking these big hits.
Right.
He's the type of guy who's extremely shifty. He doesn't seem to take a big hit ever, so I'm not too concerned with that, no.
Tight ends have been fantastic. Obviously, Kincaid, Knox had a couple of drops, but he's really pretty steady. But Jackson Hawes, of course, is just the story of the year, really, for the Bills. Top-rated tight end in the league, a 5th-round pick who all he was supposed to do was block, and here he is catching touchdowns and finding himself open and able to get open in scheme to relieve Josh when he has a pressure situation.
Yeah, and he's doing all the dirty work, and you don't need that 6th offensive lineman right now. Jackson Hawes is an unsung hero for this offense. It looks completely different. The outside zone running game looks awesome because of him, and the fact that he has a little bit of a pass threat is huge. And I think Jackson Hawes is a guy that might start getting more offensive touches just to get rewarded for the way he's blocking.
Yeah, I talked to Connor McGovern the other day, the Bills center, and he was telling me that Jackson Hawes, even going back to mini camps and OTAs, was having his way with Greg Rousseau and Bosa as a 5th-round rookie out of Georgia Tech. Really pretty incredible story that he's slowly becoming. Let's talk about Bosa's impact so far in the season. And on the other side, I mentioned Rousseau. I don't remember in the first 3 weeks of the year, and I think you alluded to this, hearing Greg Rousseau's name, not even once.
No, I mean, I forgot he was on the team almost. And that guy, to me, he was a fantastic player for us last year. He didn't put up the stats, but he was really, really good. I think Bosa did play a pretty good game against the Dolphins, but the pass rush to me was pretty poor.
Agreed.
And I think that has to do a lot with the fact that Ed Oliver's not in there. So once we get Ed Oliver back, I think that's going to be a huge get. But Greg Rousseau, to me, he needs to start playing a little better. I think he needs to get in that 9 to 10 sack range for us to get to the point we want in the season. And even not statistically, maybe just getting some more pressure on the quarterback. And I don't think this week is going to be the week that is going to tell us if Greg Rousseau is back, but I would definitely like to see him put a strong performance against a team like the Saints.
Yeah, for sure. One note and one stat that is really important to the Bills' success thus far is the fact that they still have yet to give the ball away, and they're taking taking the ball away. So they're winning turnover battles in addition to the 30 points per game. So a good start for the Bills and a good start for the show. We'll come back with our special Bills guest when we return on the Shatkin First Down Buffalo pregame show.
Hi, I'm Dr. Todd Shatkin here with Hall of Fame running back Thurman Thomas.
My family and I have been coming to Dr. Shatkin's dental office for years. The office is beautiful and the staff is outstanding.
Thanks, Thurman. It's been an honor for me to take care of you and your family.
For a Hall of Fame smile, go where the pros go. Dr. Todd Shatkin at the Aesthetic Associates Center.
Call today for a free consultation, 839-1700.
All right, special guest Jay Skurski joining us, Buffalo News, who is very, very appropriate this week because of two reasons. A, well, obviously covers the Bills. And how many years Bills now?
Oh, gosh.
Are you 20?
We're getting close. Yeah, we're
Okay.
getting close. But yeah, predating the Buffalo News, we're at 20. Yeah.
Okay. So the Bills Saints, 16.5-point favorites, the Bills going into this game, massive favorites. And the weird thing about the fan base, and I know you see this, is they get so frustrated with this team when the team is in the middle of a game and they have a little bit of an offensive lull. And I maintain, and I'm sure you and your peers in the media industry probably feel the same way, that Bills Mafia is kind of spoiled, right? I mean, this is a team that's been scoring 30 points per game on the regular. And when you score 30 points and you're ticked off because you didn't score more, I mean, nobody's going to be perfect in the NFL. Nobody is. But the Bills are about as close as you can be in terms of the offense at this point, right?
Well, I mean, look around the league, right? I mean, the Eagles need a last-second blocked field goal to beat the Rams to stay undefeated, right? The Chargers don't look necessarily dominant in beating the Broncos to get to 3-0. I mean, the Bills are 3-0, and after they got by the Ravens kind of miraculously with the comeback, I mean, they've won the next two games handily against the Jets. And yeah, they definitely let the Dolphins hang around in that game longer than they should have, but ultimately it's a 10-point game. Yeah, I mean, spoiled is the right word, right? We're looking for perfection, and perfection is rarely found on the football field, right? There is the perfect game that we've dubbed that the Bills Patriots playoff game, but that doesn't happen ever, right? That's why that game has a nickname. So I think that, it's maybe not perfection that you're looking for. It's eliminating some of those lulls. It's eliminating the 3 and outs on offense. It's getting some more 3 and outs on defense, right? The third down defense against Miami certainly was an issue. So are there things that this team can work on that I'm certain they have worked on during this 10-day break in between games in week 3 and week 4? No question about it. But ultimately, the wins are what matters. They're 3-0 overall. They're 3-0 in the conference. They are in the driver's seat right now, I would say, and I know it's early, for the number 1 seed, and that is the goal for this franchise. And when you look around the league, what's happened with the Chiefs, what's happened with the Ravens in particular, what's happened in Cincinnati with Joe Burrow going down, the conference race is shaping up really nicely for this team. So right now, yeah, don't worry about if they're, completely have hit their stride at this point. Worry about the end result, and the end result is 3-0 right now.
And with the everybody eats, I mean, the defense is, who do we cover, right?
Yeah.
I mean, he showed it the other night when on that flip pass to Jackson Hawes, right? Then no one's thinking he's going to catch a touchdown, even though he's had a fast start. But everybody else is arguably a bigger, better, more developed threat than he is in the pass game, and yet he's showing he can catch. So now your options are almost endless for the Bills offense, whether it's in the run or pass game, and they've showed it. So let's fast forward and flip it over to the defensive side of the football. Obviously, and I don't know if they were playing too much man. I know that's been part of the conversation from the Miami game. Maybe too much man and not enough zone, because when they were playing man and Trey was in it against Jalen Waddle, it didn't look great.
Yeah, I mean, listen, here, this is what my takeaway on the Bills Dolphins game in terms of the defensive effort. The Dolphins didn't have a play of 20 plus yards in that game, right? So there was a recipe that we're going to keep things in front of us, and we're going to make you, as I said earlier, march down the field 4 or 5 times and go on long, sustained drives, and we don't think you can do that. And for a time, Miami did that, right? In the second quarter, they went on a really long drive. They were converting third downs. And yeah, Trey White did have a couple of tough moments against really, really fast receivers in Jalen Waddle and Tyreek Hill, maybe to a lesser degree. But I don't have a huge problem with the defensive approach against the Dolphins. I think ultimately it proved to be correct. They got to Tua and made him make the mistake that ultimately cost Miami the game, right? Deion Walker gets in his face and Terrell Bernard makes the interception, and that's it, game over. So I think that, every week is going to be a slightly different defensive approach. Let's not forget that this team radically changed their personnel on that side of the ball this offseason, right? The defensive line was rebuilt. Number 2 cornerback was rebuilt. The safety tandem is relatively inexperienced together. And obviously, you're playing without 2 guys who were suspended. You're playing with some key injuries in Milano and Ed Oliver this past game. I think the runway for the defense to get to be where it needs to be is a little bit longer, understandably, right now. And so, yeah, they're kind of finding their way defensively. But as long as you're doing it and win, and listen, going into that game, if you said the Dolphins were going to score 21 points, do you think you're going to win the game? Everyone would say yes, right? You think you're going to get 22 or more on offense, and that ultimately proved to be the case. So they had a really terrible showing against the Ravens, who are a very good offense. And the last couple of weeks, I think they've done some pretty nice things defensively.
And the Saints, I mean, look, they got killed by the Seahawks. That's a lot of travel from them for them to go there and back and then up to Buffalo.
Yeah, I mean, they've got a young quarterback. Spencer Rattler is not a rookie, but he's, in terms of starts in the league, you might as well be.
Yep.
Sean McDermott historically has dominated those types of quarterbacks, young quarterbacks. There's 2 priorities for the Bills in this game. Number 1 is to play a complete game, right? Eliminate some of those lulls offensively, some of those lulls that we talked about defensively in terms of the third down conversions, that kind of thing. Number 2 is to get Josh Allen out of the game as early as possible in the second half. This should be a resounding victory. 16.5-point favorite says that. It's very, very rare that you see an NFL team favored by that much over another team. And so I think the Bills are, Super Bowl contenders for a reason. I think the Saints are number 1 overall draft pick contenders for a reason. And so that needs to play out on Sunday at 1:00. That is what there should be no letting this opponent hang around. You want to get this game in control as quickly as you can. Go up early, get the crowd into it. I don't think that Spencer Rattler is going to be able to handle the crowd in Orchard Park if the Saints go down early.
Well, congratulations on the work. Thank you for taking some time with us. Continue the great work on both football and the occasional golf reporting. And yeah, it's going to be a fun weekend in sports. Thanks, man. I really appreciate it.
Anytime. Thanks for having me, buddy.
Okay, team, we're down by 6 with only 1 play left. It's comeback time. Yeah! We need a play. The reverse ribeye, no good. The porterhouse pitch, too risky. The strip steak sweep, that's it. Go Russell!
Touchdown!
Where would you like to have dinner tonight?
Russell's, of course.
Be my guest and let us do the rest.
I was in a car accident. My front tooth cracked. I'm definitely embarrassed to smile. I got mini dental implants. It changed my life because it made me feel like me. Like I can smile and feel like Ashley. I just want to say thank you.
Mini dental implants can change your life too. You can be you again. Call us at 839-1700 for a free consultation.
I'm more than happy. I'm ecstatic.
Welcome back to the Shatkin First Down Buffalo pregame show. It's time to go inside the pocket. With UFL, Memphis Showboats quarterback Sam Castronova, Buffalo native. So happy to have him here every single week. So we got to break down sorry, Spencer Rattler.
Yeah, I've been looking forward to this.
It's either
one.
him or Tyler Shuck. So it looks like it's Tyler Rattler. Or
I think Tyler Shuck's
Spencer Rattler.
almost as old as me, and he's a rookie. So
Yeah,
that's,
right?
That's
That's
fun,
right.
but-
Here's Spencer Rattler, who's been in the league a little bit, was South Carolina, was at Oklahoma. I mean, I was going to say a poor man's Mahomes, but not even close to that. I mean, what do we know about Spencer Rattler?
I
What
mean,
should
he
the
does
Bills
have
fear?
he does have a talented arm. So I mean, he can throw a deep ball. He can move a little bit. Obviously, he's super young, so he's still learning a lot in the league. This is his second year, I believe. So so he's still got a lot to learn. Got a little mobility, can make some plays, but it's going to be probably another long game. So I wouldn't be surprised if we did see Tyler.
Wow, very interesting. All right, so. Yeah, quarterback is a big issue for New Orleans. Obviously, a rookie head coach in Kellen Moore. We'll see how it goes. Get rid of the ball and stay here for the Mafia. Welcome back to the Shatkin First Down Buffalo pregame show. Rich, Jared, Sam, Bob, who you've seen before. There's Joey as well. Welcome to it. Let's talk about the Dolphin game first. And I want you guys to be most involved in this section. I'll start with you, Bob. Obviously, again, for the Bills, took a big play to basically ice that game. There's a little bit of game left, but if it hadn't been for the Bernard pick, who knows what's going to happen.
The way the Bills are playing right now, it seems to be a little bit more cautious. They don't want to get Josh hurt. They don't want turnovers. That's the biggest thing. And they're not turning the ball over.
No.
So I don't mind. It'd be nice to get some, 30-3 games, but I mean, a win's a win. I think that's just how they're doing it. They seem to be wanting to win a Super Bowl, and the way you win a Super Bowl is don't turn the ball over, be consistent, run the ball, make big plays on defense.
Yeah, and obviously, Joey, going into the Saints game and coming off the Miami game and the Jet game, McDermott's number one job is to prevent complacency, right? To think, oh my God, we're great. We're averaging 30 points per game. Yeah. We're beating up on everybody for the most part. Our defense isn't playing it like it should be, but he's got to prevent them from hearing from people, well, yeah, you're 16.5-point favorites against the Saints, right?
Yeah, I mean, the whole thing when you turn on WGR is talk about going undefeated, and the main thing that everyone is thinking about is, Super Bowl and this and that. We're 3-0, but I think McDermott has shown over his years here that he gets the team up and ready no matter what, So I think that they'll be fine going into the Saints game, and they'll be able to take care of business. So. And
I'm going to stay with you two guys again. Bob, to you. Third down defense against the Jets was fantastic, right? 0 for 11 on third down with the Jets, but the Dolphins were 9 of 15. Now is your third down defensive question, has that been arisen in your brain again?
Well, even though we did it against the Jets, I was still a little leery of it. It seems to be a constant thing over the years. They make the plays when they have to make the plays. It's very frustrating for any fan to watch these third downs. Long, short, mid-range, to make them over and over. But they got the win. So it is something they have to shore up for sure.
Yeah, and Trey White, for me, on a lot of those third downs, Joey, was an issue.
Yeah, definitely. But, I mean, he's still getting a step back, it looks like, and they're going to go out and trust him. I mean, Harrison's hurt, which is not great, obviously, but when he comes back, they'll fight for the spot. And, I mean, just got to believe in Trey Day because he's a vet, so he'll bounce back.
Just say that they're playing a little bit too much man-to-man. If they don't have the personnel to do it, why are they putting Trey man-to-man coverage with fast receivers?
Yeah.
If they go back to the, maybe more conventional zone defense,
Just sit down, bend, don't break, right?
Yep.
And don't get beat on those, really, really crucial plays. And, Sam, to you, in terms of Trey and then Harrison coming back, I mean, should people be excited? And I want to go off of something both of these guys said. It's kind of typical for these Bills teams over the past couple of years, between games like 4 or 5 and 10, somewhere in there they lay an egg or two, right? That's something in this next stretch. Everyone's like, oh my God, they're going to be unbeaten by the bye week. But they can't think that way, and neither really can the Bills fans.
Yeah, you think about a couple of the Jaguars games the last 4 or 5 years.
Giants, Buccaneers, I mean, all close games.
Offense will lay an egg, defense will lay an egg. So, yeah, I mean, like you said, Coach McDermott's done a pretty good job of trying to keep the team not getting complacent. But, we got to come to play every week. I think Trey White looks a lot better than he did last year because he looked like he might have been done last year. I think he looks like he's got some juice back, maybe getting his legs back. But, yeah. Be a little more aggressive, mix things up on the defense and offense. Just keep doing what they're doing. I would love to see some more explosive plays through the air, but beggars can't be choosers. So we're 3-0. Just keep it rolling.
Yeah, and last thing real quick, Jared, to you. there was that sort of lull offensively in the third quarter, right? I think they went 3 and out, maybe 4 or 5 and out, and everyone's like, oh my God, where's the offense? We're pretty spoiled with this team, right? I mean, they're averaging 30 points per game, and they've done that for a couple of years in a row. I think the fan base should maybe relax a little bit and understand what we have and that it is working.
Yeah, no, it's incredible to have 30 points a game over the last 2 years. And you could see Josh is really just kind of taking what's given to him, and he's getting to the open guy right away. But I do think there's a point to be said where if you play a better team, those need for explosive plays are going to be there. Because in my opinion, we're not playing against the Saints. We're not playing against the Dolphins. We're playing for January. And I think, week by week, if we can just improve on what we're doing, we'll be okay. But I have there's some troubling defensive calls there. The defense was in trouble. I'll talk about that later. But, I don't think just beating the Dolphins 31-21 should be like, oh, hoorah, we're good. I think there's some coaching that needs to happen, and luckily we can do it after a win.
All right, thankfully Sorrentinos has been with us since day one on the show, asked specifically for us to bring trivia back so these guys could leave with some Sorrentinos dough. So here we go. It's one very simple question, and it's Bills Saints. We've always had the team that the Bills were playing in the trivia question. So October 2005, anybody want to guess the answer before I even ask the question?
Terrence McGee.
No. Excellent. Excellent to bring that up, though.
Steve Gleason.
No. But Terrence McGee, if you've never seen this play, the greatest kickoff return that never ended in a touchdown. It was 82 yards. I was at that game. You still haven't decided or figured out what the question is yet, but it has to do with that. Just look it up. Go to YouTube and pick that out. Where was the game played? This was after Katrina, right? The Superdome had issues, had some damage to it after Katrina. San Antonio, Texas is right. You're winning Sorrentino's dough for all of the table, okay? And that was, by the way, one of the worst Bills games of all time. They lost 19-7. J.P. Losman had a whole 75 yards passing. And their lead receiver that game was Jonathan Smith, with 2 catches for 30 yards. That was your leading receiver in an NFL game. And just speaking of, dropping an egg, I mean, holy cow, that was a game the Bills did just that in, laying an egg. At any rate, guys, thank you. Before we go, though, prediction. Bills Saints, what do you think score?
35-10.
35-10, Joey?
27-13.
Bills.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
No upset special from you?
41-10.
41-10, another blowout loss for the Saints after they got killed by Seattle on the road. Lot of traveling for the Saints, right? Mafia, guys, thank you so much. We're going to break down the Bills and the Saints when we come back. Stay right here. It's the Shatkin F.I.R.S.T Buffalo pregame show.
It's apple picking time. When was the last time you bit into an apple? With affordable Shatkin mini dental implants, you can. Stabilize your dentures and replace missing teeth in as little as one visit. You can be you again, only better. Call the Aesthetic Associate Center today at 716-839-1700 for your free consultation.
It means a lot to be able to work with my dad to continue this legacy that we have going on.
I had many implants. Once I got them, it was like the old me came back.
The changes you can make in such a short period of time in somebody's life, have somebody in the chair crying because they finally have a full set of teeth. And I think the only way to do it in that type of time period for that type of price is really the mini implant.
Mini dental implants can change your life too. Call us at 839-1700 for a free consultation.
Welcome back to the final segment. We're getting ready for the Saints game of the Shatkin F.I.R.S.T Down Buffalo pregame show. Rich, Dr. Jared. All right, so Saints are kind of awful. I think we saw it against Seattle, and it doesn't help that they have a rookie coach and a quarterback who is very, very average, at least to this point in his career. Before we break it down, and the Bills go into this game massive favorites. At one point, they were 16.5-point favorites in this game.
Yeah.
But before I get to that, it's a 1 o'clock game. I mean, are you excited about that or what?
Oh, yeah. I'm excited to get out there at 10 a.m. and start tailgating with the guys. Finally, a 1 o'clock game. I think it's our only 1 o'clock home game, if I'm not mistaken.
It's crazy.
So, yeah, I'm about to have a good time, and it's about to be sold out. The crowd's going to be going wild.
It's going to be crazy.
Exciting.
Yeah. All right, so the Saints are giving up 30 points per game. Falls right into the Bills' lap. Thank you, New Orleans. Appreciate that. 2 of their 3 games, they gave up 3 or fewer yards per carry. That's an important stat, right? I mean, the Bills have done a lot in the run game so far.
Yeah, and I think that's something that the Bills really lean on, especially early in the game. So to me, my hope is that they open it up a little more in the passing game, because I think they could have done that the past couple weeks too. So hopefully that kind of changes Joe Brady's mindset a little to get Josh going a little earlier and let the pass open up the run this time.
They also have 10 sacks in 3 games. I mean, that's a significant stat as well. You know, obviously the Bills, you could argue, have the best offensive line in football. I don't suspect they're going to have that kind of success against the Bills, but still, it's a stat you got to think about.
Well, it's something that could keep them in the game.
Yeah.
People are thinking it's going to be a 17-point game, and I mean, I don't see it, because when a team in the NFL loses like that, they just lost to Seattle. These are professional football players who get paid too. They're not going to come and lay down. It's only week 3, so I think that could keep them in the game. Their pass rush and their rush defense.
Yeah, I mean, statement game for them, right? If the Bills have the target on their back, Super Bowl favorites, this is the Saints Super Bowl, even though it's only week 4 of the season.
No, exactly. I mean, anytime I've played high school teams that we were the better team, but they came out to play because they knew they were playing against us. This happens. This isn't going to be a game where you can lay down. I think the coaching of Sean McDermott's important, because it doesn't seem like he's the type of guy to let the team let down. But they got to be real careful here, because the Saints could come out with some energy.
Yeah, and you got to think that the Saints, too, going into this game are not going to put too much pressure on Spencer Rattler, but they also have to look at and say, well, look at the points the Bills have given up and look at how they've given up points. So they have Kamara still. They still have Olave. They got Juwan Johnson. They got some tools and some players offensively.
Yeah, I mean, Spencer Rattler has a talented arm, so if Olave can get some space versus a guy like Tre'Davious White, they can really get going here. Important for the Bills is getting off the field on 3rd down. They got to get the pass rush going, and they got to put all hope away before they get some.
So the Saints defense has given up 46% on 3rd down for conversions. The Bills, of course, on their side offensively are getting 45% 3rd down completion. So again, the matchup is nice for the Bills coming into this game. But on the flip side, obviously our 3rd down defense, to your point, has been very porous. So let's get to your pick in this game. Might there be a scoregami from you for this one?
Let's see. I'm thinking it's going to be 35-17.
35-17.
Not a score. I've seen that score a couple times.
All right. This might be a scorigami. I'm not 100 on this one. I'm going to go 34-12.
Okay.
I think the Saints
12.
I think the Saints only get field goals in 4 of them, and that's it. So that the Bills do stop them on 3rd and 4th down and create in Bills territory field goals for the Saints. So, okay, we both got the Saints winning. Everybody on the Mafia had the Saints winning. So go Bills. Thanks to all of, what's that? Bills. Did I say the Saints? Yes. Oh, sorry. Everybody's got the Bills winning, of course. Wow. Hopefully that's not a jinx.
Yeah, that's right.
Right?
Yeah.
But we did talk about hiccups in this show.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we don't want this to be that road bump, that speed bump for the Bills, but it could be. You just never know in the NFL. Thanks to Aesthetic Associates, Dr. Todd Shatkin, Sorrentinos, also Russell's, and yes, our friends at Napoli's as well for joining us. Jared, great job. Thanks to our Mafia team and, of course, our crew behind the camera. And thank you for joining us right here on the Shatkin First Down Buffalo Pregame Show.
In the Pocket is sponsored by Mini Dumpster Rental. Call 716-429-6362. This has been a production of the Shatkin Sports Network.